Yeah, I don't think that they've changed their way necessarily just since I've joined the franchise. They've changed. Certainly, KL has been playing in a very positive manner since late last year, mid to late last year. We saw how he finished off a couple of the games for India and almost sealed the deal for you guys in the Champions Trophy in Dubai. But I've had a lot of incredibly brilliant conversations with him about batting, a lot of deep and meaningful conversations, because when you grow up as a youngster like he did and you get taught defense, elbow up, play in the V, and then all of a sudden in your 30s you've got to change it and you've got to become a different kind of player for a different format which is evolving all the time. It's very, very difficult. So the way that he has accepted that he's needed to change, the way that he has changed, is of great, great credit to the person that he is. He is so positive. The way that he practices, the way that he trains, the way he thinks about the game, and also the way that he talks about the game. So that's KL. Ashu, what a guy. I mean, he's the younger generation that grew up playing scoops and reverse flicks and flicks for six and just wants to hit sixes every ball. So he's that next generation of T20 talent. And again, for him, I've spent a lot of time with him, just trying to make sure that he practices the right way. Because a lot of these guys, you can get to practice, you can try and hit sixes every ball, and you can get out a lot of times. I think the key to wanting to perform properly is to practice in the right way. And that's what I've been working with Ashu on, just making sure that he doesn't get out too many times in practice. When he hits the ball, he hits the right ball, because in the match, you want to hit the right ball. So those are just the small things where I'm working with him, and then a lot of the other young batters as well. I'm absolutely loving working with these youngsters, and Kale, the experienced players, Faf, I mean all of them. Yes, sir. Yes. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, we lost the toss. I think we were also going to chase. And I think that winning the toss was very important. Just there was dew, and I think batting got a little bit easier towards the end. I think it was a little bit harder in the first innings for us, just those middle overs. The wicket was dry, the dew hadn't set yet. And there actually wasn't any dew last night, I don't think, when we finished training. So I'm not so sure whether that would have played too much of a role in what we did, because statistics actually said for the 7 previous games that have been played here, the team batting first has won the game. So that's the first chase win. But we were going to chase this evening, and I just think conditions and the toss probably just didn't play in our favour. No, shot making I think was very difficult on that wicket. I think the batters, if you got KL Rahul who's batting, as that gentleman there has just talked about, at a strike rate of 160, 170, pushing 180, and he's finding it hard to find the boundary, then you've got to trust that the wicket isn't as easy to bat on at that particular stage. Hi. Yeah, very, very good question. I always knew that when I was playing franchise cricket, that no particular coach could change you over that 4 to 6 week period or 8 week period. And I mean, even with Abhishek last night, I was working on something. I mean, where are we? We're 5 weeks into the tournament. We've only got 3 or 4 weeks left of the tournament. And I said to him, Abhi, this is not going to work for you tomorrow. It might not work for you the next week. But if you keep working on it, in the next month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, I promise you this is going to help your game. And it's going to take you to a level where you're going to become a more destructive batter. So I think that's the key, trying to lay foundations now, and then also just mentally trying to switch a few players on and make them think better, because I think you can think better. Trying to change technique and trying to give people more batting options, that takes time, right? Because it's training the brain through repetition. Whereas the mental switch, some of this stuff I've done with Ashu, just making sure that he practices the right way, having long and deep and meaningful discussions with KL about batting and the art of batting and the new way of batting. There you can have an impact, but sort of technically, these things take time.
He's not been part of India's T20 setup. We have the World Cup and considering the nature of the pitches, which remains 16 like this. Would you have here in the team as a wicket keeper? And the other competition in Sanju, Ishan Kishan, Rishabh Pant, Nitish Sharma?
I'd back KL at 4 for India in T20 cricket. I think you guys have got plenty of opening batters. You've got Rohit, Yashasvi, you've got Surya who bats at the top, you've got all of these guys. But the way that KL Rahul is playing cricket now, he would be my first choice to bat at 4 and keep wicket for India. Yes.
For someone like you who has 5 years of free training, where do you think batting is going? Do you think generation of batters who play a lot of T20 cricket are getting caught up with strikers and trying to look at too much, forgetting those basics of keeping them aside? And there's another part to it, talking about this pitch, this 160, 170 pitch. Do you think this is good for T20 cricket or actually good for the players in this bowlers to actually help them evolve as batters?
Yeah, again, a couple of very good questions. The first part of your question about the way that players are playing, I think a lot of these players are not going to play test match cricket. So you're probably looking at it as a view, and I do often as well. I look at it and I just think, like, this is just crazy. Some of the shots that you see and how quickly these guys play the shots, it looks like utter madness. But that's the form of the game. On wickets like we're playing on this evening, you can't play that way, and you've got to be methodical. You've got to find rhythm. Virat found rhythm this evening. KL got rhythm, and I think that's where you see the true batter, the real batter that can come out there and sort of monitor the situation, and it looks effortless because they've built a technique for 20 years, 30 years, whereas you give the absolute belters. And that's when the next generation can come in and do all sorts of things. So is it good for T20 cricket to have the occasional wicket like this? I don't think it's a bad thing. Is it good to see the bowlers just getting bowling and just being served up into the stands every single ball, like what happened a bit last year and how it started this year? I don't think every night people want to see that. I don't know. I don't really want to see it every night. I don't know. You guys are obviously cricket lovers. The question is to you, do you want to see that every night? Or do sometimes you just want to see something like this where it's like, it can be tight. It can be real tight. But yeah, you've also got to work out what fits for your particular team. Hi. Yeah, again, we've got a very, very good bowling lineup. We've got an incredibly long batting lineup, and I think it depends on the opposition that we're playing against. It completely depends on who we're up against, and if you have a look at this evening's fixture, the kind of players and the kind of team that Bangalore are, probably a better wicket to play them against. Whereas against KKR on Tuesday, I'm hoping it's not the wicket that we got tonight. So, yeah, I think there can be changes. That's the luxury of playing at home. We haven't quite hit our perfect game yet as a team. So I don't really think it's the wicket that we should be discussing. I think it's more we haven't really played that complete game. I mean, for us to be sitting where we're sitting with 12 points, knowing that we actually haven't really hit our straps in all departments, is a good thing. I think it's a great thing. For us to have won that super over the other evening, again, is a great thing. Tonight, the guys believed we could win, even when Bangalore were almost across the line, because of previous games that we have won. So we haven't we haven't played our perfect match yet, and I do believe that it's coming. I really do believe it's coming. We can only play 12 players, one being an impact player. And if you can tell me where he fits in at the moment, you would help us. If you can help us play 13, 14, it would help us. One thing I can say about Natu is he's doing everything that he's been asked to do, as is all of our players. What's been so impressive about our setup is how good the guys are that aren't playing, and they know that their chance is coming. They know that their chance is just around the corner. You have a look at Donovan the other night. Donovan turned up and he faced a couple of balls against GT. And I mean, that was spur of the moment, but he was ready. It didn't work out, but he was ready, and all of our players are ready. Anything can happen again. Look at Phil. I think Phil Salt went down with a viral. We've had a few players that have gone down the night before a game because of a viral or some sort of illness. So all our players are ready. And Natu is, again, he's chomping at the bit to get there. I mean, on commentary over the last few years, I always talk, I don't want to talk about money. This competition's long gone money. In the Premier League, people don't talk about how much money the footballers on. So that conversation for me is dead. It's more about the impact of a player in a team and when the player's ready to be selected, and if you can make space for him. We're lucky and we're in a good position where we've got Jake, who's off the field. Faf came back today. Natu's off the field. Like, we've got some very good strength really good depth in our squad. Okay, thank you. Cheers, guys.